Our next guest says the market lows are in. He believes a bottom is there. Joining us right now by Skype is Jeff Saut. He is a founder of Saut Strategy and a portfolio manager, of course, chief investment strategist at Capital Wealth Planning. Good morning to you. You were just listening to this conversation that Mike was having with Joe there. You believe the bottom is in. It's not going backwards from here.
No, people that listen to the message of the market, there was a Dow theory sell signal in November of 2007, and we actually wrote about it and told people to raise cash. And it wasn't Jeff Saut or Raymond James. It was Dow theory that said the best had been seen and discounted. And then on March of 2009, there was a Dow theory buy signal. So at Capital Wealth Planning, we buy high-quality dividend-paying stocks, blue-chip stocks, and then we tactically sell out-of-the-money short-term covered calls against them and try to generate 5 to 7% taxable returns. We have about a 90% upside capture and about a 65% downside capture. So for somebody that's 70, which is how old I am, it's a perfect strategy. As for the stock market, folks, I was on your CNBC and a number of other venues in mid-January saying that our short-term proprietary model flashed a sell signal and you ought to sell your trading positions and raise cash. Quite frankly, I raised 30% cash and it wasn't enough. I didn't think the decline would be this bad. But last week, our models turned positive again and we started to recommit cash. I think the bottom's in. Going into that bottom, you had 90% downside days, meaning that 90% of the upside to downside volume came in on the downside, and 90% of the plus ticks and versus down ticks came in on the minus side. 2 weeks ago today, you had a 90% upside day, meaning 90% of the volume came in on the upside. And then that was followed by 2 80% upside days. That's the way bottoms are made. So I think the bottom is in at 21.91 on March 23rd. I think that we trade up from here. I don't know if we're going straight up because of the damage that's been done. But if there is a cure for the virus or a vaccine for the virus, those lows are not going to be retested like everybody thinks.
Right. So, Jeff, let me ask you this, though. A lot of people have been hopefully nibbling back into the market over the past week or two. But there's still people who have some cash or a lot of cash who think that there was going to be a retest. As you just mentioned, there's a view that maybe there's a retest of the lows, maybe not. What do you see as the upside at this point if you believe the bottom is in, relative to the downside, and maybe there's zero downside because you don't think that we're going any lower?
I think the upside target by year end is going to be 34 to 3,600. I would note one of the smartest money managers out there at Elkion Capital has basically covered their shorts and are going long on stocks like Apple, Amazon. I can't think of the name of the food stock. And they've been more right on this market than anybody else. And I would place bets with them, and I would place bets with Capital Wealth Management. I mean, if you're looking for a risk-averse money manager, we're it.
Hey, Jeff, that is so to someone that is worried about reopening the economy, and we all are. And we don't know how it's going to happen. And we don't even, we hear horror stories about what the new normal or the new normal, whatever you want to call it, is going to look like. Did you just say 3,400 to 3,600 on the S&P? I mean, that is so outrageously outlandish to someone who's going to keep pressing the case that we're never getting reopened that it almost sounds crazy. What is that? That's up. What is that, up 40% from where we are here on what is that, from where we are on the S&P right now?
Well, it's from where we were. And I've been hearing the new normal from the folks at PIMCO for 5, 6, 7 years, and they've been totally wrong. It's absolutely totally wrong. It's not different.
But this new normal, this new normal really is a crazy, scary new normal where we all have masks on, and where it comes back in the fall, and where no one goes to arenas for a sporting event anymore. And I mean, their movie theaters go out of business because we never have that many people sitting next to each other again. This is a new normal that I mean, I just technically to forecast 34 to 3,600. You know, I have an affinity for thinking that things are going to be better and that we're way too pessimistic. But that gets us all the way back to where we were and puts in new highs, new all-time highs for the S&P by the end of the year.
Yeah, I think that's right. The earnings are going to take a hit here in the quarter, but I think they're going to come back pretty strong in the back half of this year. I think there's a huge pent-up demand. I know that Cheryl and I that go out to lunch every day and go up to the restaurants in downtown St. Pete every day are restaurant depressed. And the minute the restaurants open, we're going to be flocking to the restaurants. I think there's a lot of other people that are going to be doing that as well. So as long as this virus doesn't shut down the economy, and my friends at the CDC, I lived in Atlanta for 2 years. I have pretty good contacts at the CDC, tell me that the peak is in and that we're going to be past the peak by the end of this month. If that's true, folks, we're not going back down and retesting the lows.
Jeff, just so I understand, the one thing I just want to understand about your sort of theory of the case here is your expectation, therefore, is that you're on an airplane come this summer, come this fall, that everything is back to, it's got to be at least 100%, if not better, to get to the numbers you're talking about, or not?
No, I think that's right. I think there's huge pent-up demand. And I do think by the end of summer that there will be, normalcy. I don't think it's going to happen by May, June. I think it's going to take time. People are not going to go into restaurants. Go ahead.
No, but Jeff, I think the big, Jeff, in terms of the timeline, the single question that people ask is, when are people going to genuinely be on airplanes where the airplane is going to have 80-90% of its seats full, both for business travel, for vacation travel? It therefore affects the hotels. It therefore affects the restaurants. It therefore affects the retail. I mean, you can see the entire chain. So I'm just trying to understand, your expectation is that come September 1st, all of that is back as if we were in a time machine and we were in February.
Yeah, I think it's going to be by the fourth quarter of this year.